Hello friends, my name is Ramasu. Today we shall discuss about a topic, the 100 points method. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, and especially if you are a Scrum Master or you are managing the software or IT related projects. So this is a very interesting and important topic. So let's start. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my new videos can reach to you. So let's start. 100 points method. Friend, basically 100 points method, it is a method which we used in the agile methodology when we are implementing software or IT based projects, and basically it's a method which we use to prioritize the product backlog. Okay, now what is first of all we have to understand that what is actually the Scrum framework, because we are using this method in the Scrum methodology. Basically, friend, Scrum is a methodology which we used for the management or implementation of software-related projects. It is a framework which says that we divide the project into multiple chunks, and which is called as sprint. A sprint is a 3 to 4 week time period, and we deliver the project to customer in multiple chunks, actually multiple sprints. It is a agile based approach, and it is a iterative approach. In with each iteration, with each sprint, we are closing or completing the project till we reach at the last sprint. That means we are completing the project. Now 100 points method, coming towards one main topic. Basically, friend, it is a method which we use to prioritize the product backlog. Now what is product backlog? Product backlog, you can think of this as a scope document which has all the user stories and requirements for the customer for the product. User story is a functional requirement. For example, if you are implementing an e-commerce solution and you have a requirement that customer can do the payment through the credit card, it is a user story. So product backlog, to prioritize the product backlog, we use a method called as 100 point method. Okay, so it is important to prioritize your product backlog to make sure that it doesn't become an open-ended list of every random thought anyone has about your product. Your backlog needs to be structured, organized, and prioritized to determine the most strategically important things for your team to work on. Okay, so to prioritize the product backlog, that means prioritize your requirements which are very important, very necessary for your product. We use a method called as 100 points method. Now, the 100 points method, also called as $100 fixed sum or fixed allocation, was proposed by Mr. Dean and Mr. Don. The objective is to give more weight to the higher prioritized backlog item when compared to other available user story. Again, user story means a requirement, functional requirement for a product. Okay, it involves giving the participant 100 points. They can vote for the items in product backlog such as epics or user stories that adds most value to the business. The vote do not need to be distributed equally, rather a weighted distribution can be allocated to reflect the higher priority that some item worth. So basically 100 point method says that, for example, let's suppose you are a IT specialist, let's suppose. So I can give you the 100 points and say that you have to distribute these points, 100 points, in 5 user stories. Based on your judgment, based on your understanding, you divide the 100 points among the 5 stories, and it is not necessary that these points should be equally divided. Based on your judgment and based on your opinion, you will divide those points in the user stories. On completion of the voting process, prioritization is determined by calculating the total points allocated to each user story. Okay, so once the completion, once the process will complete it, so prioritization is determined by calculating the total points allocated to each user story. So that means it will become a very you can say a way of democratic way in which you allocate the points to the user stories, and the story who will be getting the most points from the person, from their resources, we shall give it the highest points, highest priority. So like Scrum Master, the product owner, the Scrum team, other stakeholder will involve in this process, and they they give points to the user story and distribute the 100 points among the available user story. Now I can give you try to give you a very simple example here. For example, we have four user stories: customer sign up into the system, social media sharing with Facebook, Twitter, etc., and customer profile and track the order whatever he is placing. Okay, for example, we have these four stories, user stories are available. You can say these four functionalities available. So one resource like marketing representative and one resource from IT manager. So these two resources are available. For example, so marketing representative give customer sign up 30 points, social media sharing 20 points, customer profile 25 points, and track order 25 points. Okay, so you can see he has divided these user stories unevenly, and these 100 points become the total. Then the IT manager gives 25 points to customer sign up, 15 points to social media sharing, 25 points to customer profile, and 35 points to track order. In this way, the total become 100. Okay. Now see, first of all, see the whatever the 100 points they have, and they have divided these 100 points in the to the user stories. Now what is the priority, which story will have the priority? So what we can do, if we total these stories, like total 30 plus 25, 20 plus 15, 25 plus 25, and 25 plus 35. So if you can imagine, if you just notice, the story who will be getting the highest points from these two stakeholders will become the highest in priority as well. Okay, so this is the main concept here. What we do, like we give 100 points to the stakeholders. The stakeholders unevenly or and by their own choices, they divide these 100 points in the user stories, and the user story who will be getting the most points from the stakeholder will get the highest priority as well. Okay, so this is the main concept here. So remember friend that the story is basically the story who will be getting the highest point will get the will gets the most priority, and the basis on the comparison, they have to make a trade-off when making the prioritization decision. More points for one item means fewer points for another. The depth of decision making required means this method is high in participants' burden, but there is a real value in that decision value as well. As the 100 points method provides a fixed sum, it requires the correctness of the prioritization to consider to be valid. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks for watching the video. Thank you.